This lesson is aimed to give you some tips about legal assistance in your country of destination. When you are abroad, you may find yourself in two different situations. You might need justice, for example, when you claim to have suffered the violation of your rights and you want to initiate a legal proceeding. You might have to face justice, for instance, when you have violated local rules of the rights of others. In such scenarios, the following perspectives should be considered. How may your host country assist you? How may your home country support you? In this lesson, we will be analyzing the first perspective. As a starting point, you should know that in the field of justice you have specific rights to be enjoyed in any situation you will find yourself. Your host country's authorities must respect and fulfill at least the following rights. The right to liberty and security. As a matter of principle, you cannot be imprisoned or detained without reasons. In the case your freedom is restricted, you have the right to know the reasons and the charges against you in a language you can understand. You have the right to go to trial in a reasonable time and to be released as soon as the deprivation of your liberty is found to be unlawful. The right not to be punished without law. Punishments must be provided by law. If you do something which does not entail any punishment, no authority can punish you. The right to a fair trial. You should be allowed to access justice and have your case examined in an impartial way by an authority established by law. The right to be assisted. You have the right to be assisted by a lawyer and, if necessary, by an interpreter. The interpreter should have a professional knowledge of the language, being insufficient to be just a native of the host country. The right of defense and the presumption of innocence. Remember that you are innocent until the charges against you will be proved beyond any reasonable doubt and confirmed through a court's judgment. The right not to be tried or punished twice in criminal proceeding for the same reason. You shall enjoy these rights without discrimination. You cannot be prevented to enjoy these rights only because you are not a citizen of the host country. The respect of these rights is usually protected either by domestic or international law. For instance, you may find these rights in a number of treaties, such as the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the European Convention on Human Rights, and the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. Generally speaking, in all countries there are different jurisdictions that deal with different problems. Although the legal system may have a more complex structure, you may find everywhere at least two main types of jurisdiction. A civil jurisdiction, which is competent for civil affairs, such as a breach of a contract, compensation for unintentional damages, family relation. A criminal jurisdiction, which is competent for facts qualified as crimes by the host country according to its system of values. Note that the procedures before these jurisdictions are always regulated by domestic rules, including costs, which may be very different from country to country. Despite the fact that the rights in the legal systems are protected and organized more or less in the same way in all countries, you should remember that all countries do not necessarily share the same values. This may imply significant differences in the system of protection. The standard of implementation may be very different from country to country. Therefore, before leaving your country, it is appropriate to check whether and how your country of destination will protect you in case you need or have to face justice. A few indicators for carrying out this assessment are: Does the host country include justice rights and constitutional provisions? Has the host country passed specific laws setting minimum standards for justice rights? Has the host country police and/or security forces aim to ensure the respect of the law? Do these forces cover the whole territory of the host country, including the area where you will settle? Does the host country provide for a judicial system which can be accessed also by foreigners? Does the host country enforce punishments against those who breach justice rights? Even if you need justice, asking for formal justice is not necessarily the best solution. There are a number of reasons for that. Your request does not fit with the traditional customs of the host country. You risk a fine which could be dangerous for yourself. The justice system of the host country is not reliable. In all these cases, it may be advisable renouncing to formal justice and looking for alternative solutions, such as giving up, especially if your case is of very little importance. Try informal justice, such as informal system of negotiations or informal mediation procedures. However, be aware that you should resort to informal systems only if you are very sure and you have to prove that the persons involved are really reliable. In all remaining cases, it is better to get in contact with your consulate to have safe advices and to understand what to do. Remember that the consulate can provide legal assistance and assist you to go back home. Once in your home country, you may ask for justice, also through diplomatic or legal channels. If you decide to resort to formal justice or you have to face justice, the first thing to do is to contact an attorney who will assist you during the entire procedure. Usually, you are not entitled to resort to the service of an attorney of your home country, but you can only hire a local attorney. Be very careful in the choice of the local attorney. The attorney must be a professional one. This means that the attorney must have satisfied the requirements for board certification and, therefore, must hold the formal title of attorney. This is usually delivered by the local bar association. You should never trust people that pretend to be competent in legal issues but are not formally attorneys. If you are not sure, ask to the local bar association, or, if appropriate, to the consulate of your home country. Before the jurisdiction of the host country, the attorney may help you in many ways, advising you from the very first moment, interacting with the host state's judicial bodies and any attorneys involved in the legal proceeding, preparing the legal strategy, looking for proofs, keeping contacts with your relatives, keeping contacts with the authorities of your home country, including consular and diplomatic authorities.